all these. Let's ping the Discord. Wonderful. Let's put the links in the chat. And I think we're good. Penalties, eh? Penalties! Oh my goodness. How many missed penalties? Some really not good penalties. Damn. But I think it's the team that everyone expected to go through. Spain, but I kind of feel for Switzerland there. Damn. Oh well. Oh well. So we've got confirmed lineups for the Belgians. Confirmed lineups for the Belgians. We're looking like this. Football we done. Hell yeah. Some deserve better. Yeah, poor penalties from the Swiss, really. Some did great. The fact that they went down to 10 men, held it out until the, held on through extra time as well. But, Spain didn't really create a whole ton of chances, did they? Spain are obviously an incredibly talented side, but they just don't seem to be clicking. Score predictions. Oh, tough, isn't it? Really tough. I think the first 15 minutes is going to say it all. De Bruyne being on the pitch is massive. Doku, the pace of Doku getting at these Italian defenders could be hilarious. I mean, Di Lorenzo's a decent defender, but getting Doku running at these centre-backs, if they can get him doing that, especially with the support of Torgan Hazard, because obviously, like, Hazard plays more like a traditional winger. Like, they're more like a bit of a stacked, like a lopsided 4-4-2 when they play like this. Because De Bruyne will kind of operate in the half spaces like he does for Man City, and he's brilliant at it. You'll have your kind of tight double pivot sat there. Obviously, Lukaku pulls out wide quite a lot as well, but I think one of the big things is going to be trying to isolate Bonucci and Chiellini, who are wonderful defenders, but pace is not something they're blessed with. And honestly, like, the entire midfield isn't really pacey. And Doku is lightning. Doku is absolute lightning, isn't he? So it's really interesting. I was surprised. I know that we're trying to get Hazard fit for this game. But I thought maybe like Dries Mertens might have played, maybe Carrasco. Just like someone a little bit more experienced, but it's going to be interesting to see how Doku does. But by the same token, you're going to have Lorenzo Insigne and Chiesa getting at an aging and slowing Belgian back line. It's going to be very, very interesting. I think this is a really, really good game. Tie of the quarterfinals easily. Just a new tactics screen, yeah. This is how it works. How it works now. Spinazzola needs to have a good game for Italy to win. Yeah, it's going to be... Him up against Meunier is going to be massive. Because Spinazzola's really impressed me. I mean, this Italian side has probably been the most impressive side in the competition so far. But... I mean, Belgium are a very good side. But yeah, like I said, they've been incredible. Spinazzola has been one of their standout performers as well. Him getting up and down that left-hand side, supporting, creating, and also kind of being a part of that back line that's, played well. Let's not forget. But yeah, like, any other questionable lineup decisions there? Surprised they didn't go with Boyata or Denaya, although Vermaelen had a solid game last game. Witsel Tielemans kind of like pick himself, so does Lukaku. De Bruyne, you get him in if he can. Meunier obviously is kind of forced into playing there. Due to the injury to Castagna. I don't know. Maybe the Doku selection's a little bit questionable. Like the Italian selection, you've got so many choices to play in that midfield. Like, Locatelli was outstanding in the group stage. Like when he scored that brace, I think he's had a fantastic tournament. Jorginho's been great. Barella's been great. You could have had Berardi coming in as one of the forwards. You've obviously got Belotti on the bench. Bernardeschi as well, who, like, they've got so much talent in the final third. But I wonder whether they can be got at by the pace of Doku and obviously the pace of Lukaku as well. He's a wonderfully talented footballer. Slow centre backs for Italy. Yeah, I was saying that before. Like, I think that might be why Doku's been put in. Like, to get the pace of Doku, trying to isolate and get at those centre backs. Or even just the movement of Doku might make a little bit of room for Lukaku. If Hazard was fit, he'd no doubt be in that team. But if you've got Hazard in that team, you don't have pace other than Lukaku. Because De Bruyne is not quick. He's not a tricky guy. He's not going to beat a guy for pace. He'll beat them with a ball. Hazard isn't a sprinter. Like, he wasn't at his peak. He was really tidy and the ball could beat a man, but he's not a sprinter. And I think maybe getting Doku in that side to add actual pace, actual kind of scary pace, could be a very good tactical decision. Is Locatelli to Arsenal confirmed? Not as far as I'm aware, no. I think it's like heavily rumoured though. But yeah, big transfer news last couple of days. Managers, players. We'll be going over that on Sunday, by the way. So tonight we're doing a watch along with of the Italy-Belgium game, obviously. We're going to be live chatting about that. We're going to have a bit of a look into, after the game, we'll kind of have a bit of a wrap-up of it. But we'll also be talking about the England-Ukraine game tomorrow, and obviously Czech Republic and Denmark too. And then Sunday, we're going to have a bit of a wrap-up of what's happened over the weekend. And also, new managers, new players, transfers. Sancho to Man United's happened. Finally. Finally. How you doing, Beth? You good? But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on that the Spain-Switzerland game? I thought Switzerland would get a goal, but I saw Spain winning it 2-3-1. But they just didn't really, like, they created some chances, but the finishing really wasn't poor. They didn't create a lot of really, really good chances. Hey, Shimmer, how you doing, man? Hope you're good, sir. Should we have a look at the way they got here? So we're gonna go, unless we've got anything to talk about with that game. I thought Spain looked comfortable a lot of the time, but didn't create a load of chances, and kind of what I expected. Like, I'm not, like, don't take this the wrong way. I don't think they'd be an easy team to beat, but if England managed to get through this game and get past the get to the final, and meet Spain in that final, I'm not terrified. But then again, I think the winner of this game now, I think the winner of Belgium-Italy beats this Spain side. The Spain side doesn't look... It's incredibly tidy, and they've got some wonderful players. I love Pedri. I think Pedri is a phenomenal player. Like, the sky is the limit for that kid. But they don't scare me. Right now, they don't scare me. They don't seem like a ridiculous goal threat. Got lured back into FM21 by Game Pass. I swear the game follows it. When it's free on Game Pass, then why wouldn't you? You know, boot it up. Spain need a proven striker. Well, Enrique's got his man. He's got his man. He absolutely loves him. He isn't doing it. Got hooked on the hour mark, didn't he, today? Just wasn't doing it. Yeah, let's have a look at the... let's have a look at how they got here. So obviously, in the group stages, Italy had a really, really impressive group stage. I think they had the best, most convincing group stage, but arguably, I've got the wrong score in there as well. They beat Switzerland 3-0. Arguably had one of the weaker group stages. So 3-0 against Turkey, 3-0 against Switzerland. A tough 1-0 win against Wales, and Wales went down to 10 men in that game as well. Held on, and obviously Wales went through. They've since been knocked out, lol. Got past Austria in the round of 16. And, yeah, play Belgium today. I think it's going to be a really interesting game, this. Two of the strongest sides that are still left in the competition. Any side that's got Kevin De Bruyne in it and Lukaku are a danger. You know, they always have the chance of turning it on and scoring goals. Could Insigne not stand next to Verratti? She looks like less of a midget. It's very small, isn't he? What am I up to in FM? We're doing a Barrow save. That's going to be back live Monday. Going to be doing the EUROS discussion over the weekend. Belgium looks strong. Belgium out, yeah. Again, 3-0 win for Belgium over Russia. That 2-1 game against Denmark was a really, really good game. And then obviously kind of like finished it off against Finland. Belgium-Portugal was not the tie that anyone expected, I don't think. I think everyone expected loads more goals, but Belgium looked... You know what surprised me, actually? Belgium, because Portugal were just throwing everything at their goal, weren't they? Our second half, especially like towards the end of the game. And Belgium just looked really solid. Looked better than I expected, really. Seeing as, you know, Vertonghen isn't the player that he was. Vermaelen's, I didn't even realize he was still playing football. Alderweireld barely gets a kick at Spurs. You know, Hazard, the left wing back, is not a wing back. But yeah, like, defended really well. So, like, maybe the criticism of their defense is unfounded. And obviously, like I said before, you've got Lukaku and De Bruyne on the pitch. You're always in danger of scoring a goal. Barrow, hell yeah, dude. You sim for Berea. They're a very, very talented side, Italy. I think the big thing is, obviously, like, you look at that squad, and you got, like, the spines in their prime. The big thing's going to be who comes in to replace Chiellini, I think, for the next tournament, for this Italy side. Because, like, the loads of options in midfield, like, players in their prime in midfield, loads of options up front, some, like, really good wide forwards. Spinazzola, Di Lorenzo, like, a good wing backs. You got Florenzi as well, obviously. Donnarumma is a generational goalkeeper. Well, he's still only like 20, isn't he? 21? He's going to be at the top of his game for another 15 years or so. But yeah, loads of options in midfield. We were going through before, you know, Locatelli, got Cristante, Castrovilli. Berardi can come in up front. Bernardeschi as well. Like, they've got a lot of very, very good players. But I think the centre-back partnership, like, what's their next centre-back partnership? You know, is Bastoni going to be the guy? Is he going to be the guy to step in and become that, you know, the next Chiellini? The next guy who's going to do it for 20 years? Kickoffs in shots, we can avoid spoilers. Yeah, that's a good plan. I'll obviously have a delay. So I'll automatically have a stream delay. So I'm just going to react to it as it happens. The usual lowest league to Prem. Yeah, I've not done a non-league team to the Prem in a while, just because it takes a long ass time, especially when you get into the championship grind. Well, Barrow's been fun. But like I said, that'll be back on Monday. Monday to Thursday is going to be Barrow, and then it's going to be Fridays, and Sundays are going to be live football chat. Hell yeah. We might even do some watch-alongs, like Super Sunday watch-alongs. That'd be fun. Oh shit. BBC, isn't it? I'm still on ITV. Whoopsie. Making sure I'm not showing you all my details. Who have we got in comms? Martin Keown. Ugh. Ugh. Let's pull this up. We can live talk about shape. So they are using De Bruyne more like a false nine, aren't they? So more having like Lukaku playing from out wide and having De Bruyne through the middle. There's Lukaku. He really likes doing that, Martinez, doesn't he? Like having Lukaku pull out to this left side, so we can kind of attack into the channels. Look for those through balls. Time for the Viking Dan commentary. Hell yeah, dude. I don't think I'm going to be like, I'm not going to be commentating the match like it'd be commentary. I'm going to be discussing like what I want to do is what I like doing when I play Football Manager. Is kind of like looking at the tactics, how people are playing, where the build-up's going, how people are defensively setting up. Lukaku looks so strong in the Denmark game. Lukaku's just a wonderful player. Like, because as well, Cambo, like, that also, you know, no, we're not all going to be in time with each other. Like, there's a good chance, like, I'm going to be behind because of the stream delay, or some people might, like, have... Because I'm watching on iPlayer, and, like, there's usually a bit of a delay on iPlayer as well, so people are going to be ahead, people are going to be behind. Welcome to Analysis with Dan. Hell yeah. Just like Lee Dixon and Janus Moore. Yeah, at least Danny Murphy's not on. Nice, BBC so far behind. Yeah, I'm like 2.5 minutes in. Danalysis. I don't know what I need to do as well. Where are we? You know what I should be doing? I should be showing my support for the Belgians and drinking a Stella, shouldn't I? Really. You know, I should really be doing that. The best analysis with the biggest cleavage. Oh! My man cleavage. So Belgium have been more on the front foot than I expected. Because obviously they spent a lot of time defending against Portugal. I kind of expected them to, especially with like the age and consequentially speed of their backline. I expected them to do a little bit more sitting deep, a little bit more kind of like playing direct balls, especially with the pace of Doku and Lukaku, obviously. Expected him to be trying to play more direct back to front passes and sitting a bit deeper, but they're squeezing up, which could be dangerous because, I mean, they're not express quick. You know, got Chiesa up the top there, Insigne. They're not express quick, but they are quick enough. Do you want Belgium to win? Would it not be better for England if they were knocked out? I think these two sides, I think, get to the final from that side of the draw. I think whoever wins this beats Spain, because Spain just haven't really impressed me at all. They had one good game in their group stage. That was when they played. Who was it now? Forget. Everyone, welcome our Ukrainian overlords. Have we not got live who scored? What's going on? There we go. Match center. Let's get that up. Keep an eye on the match stats. It's a shame the website's dark. There's a light. No dark mode on who scored. So he's getting past Denmark if they get to the semis. That's going to be it's going to be a tough game. If Denmark win tomorrow, that's going to be a really tough semi. Denmark are both, they've looked good. They've got very good players, a really good team, but also they've obviously got that extra driving factor. Everyone, yeah, they are the neutral side. If England can't win it, I want Denmark to win it. Sorry to any of my Belgian comrades. Tell you what though, I'm going to get a beer. Because it's football on a Friday night. Why haven't I got a beer in my hand already? What's going on? Be right back. Hell yeah! I'd have a beer. Give this guy a puppers. Ooh. Cheers to anyone who's joining me in a beer. Should it not be mead? I'm not a huge fan of mead. It's a bit sweet. A bit sweet for me. I don't mind like a little bit, like a glass of mead. But it's not really a drink for a continued even, is it? I'll have a beer now. They just take your hearing open. That's all it takes for me. I need to find a way of like getting the match stats over my own little tactical view. How doable is that? Let's do it. Let's do this live, shall we? So, out of window capture. want that. We do that. And we do that. Okay. And then we do that. Oh. Oh, yeah. That's working. Oh, yeah. Let's see if I can... see if we can get this working a little bit better. There we go. Get that up there. Squeeze that in a little bit more. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Maybe we have it at the top. There we go. Now we can do our own tactical discussion and keep an eye on the match stats. Right? Right? It worked. The system works. Magic. Magic. So I've completely not been watching the game. That entire time. It could be a proper midfield battle, this, because they've both got incredibly talented midfields. And obviously, like, De Bruyne is going to drop into that midfield and create from a deeper spot as well. So everyone's drinking. Yeah, what's everyone drinking? Friday night. Football's on. We must be drinking. I don't want to be accused of being an enabler, but you know. Strawberry lime Copperberg. Oh, yes. It's definitely the weather for that, isn't it? Cup of tea. It's a bit warm for a hot drink for me. Shindigger session. Very nice. Erdinger.
4 Fuking 2 Teen Mads.
4-4 Fuking 2. Miss Lol, thank you so much. 14 months. Oh my goodness. Time flies, eh? How are you doing? How hot is it down there in the big smoke? How did that ball get all the way through that box without being touched? It's smoky and humid. Ugh. Yeah, it's been really grim up here today. Like hot and really sweaty. It's kind of like let off a little bit now. Not too shabby. Clammy. It's been clammy. That's poor defending, that. They've let 2 people get in front, like, beyond their defensive line. You got some snacks I might like. Hello. They are keto friendly. Talk to me. Offside! Ooh. Seems just right where you are. Well, good for you. It was really poor defending though, that from Belgium. Just to let, like, not only to let two people get beyond your back line, but also not have anyone challenging the ball. See, having Doku out on that left-hand side is allowing Torgan Hazard to, like, he's going to hold the width out there. He's going to let Hazard kind of drift into the pitch. Rather than being that left-sided out ball where he's constantly got a cut in his left foot. You've got like a natural winger out there. Natural left-footed winger. May I link them? Of course. Cheddar cheesies. Just cheese. 122 calories. No carbs. Just baked till crunchy. Surely that just... When you bake cheese, doesn't it just melt? It's dried. Oh. Gluten-free, vegetarian, keto. Just like dried cheese balls. Had them with pickles. Are you doing keto then, Kins? I'm a fuck. I'm a fuck. Just cutting back on the carbs a little bit. Good. I always feel like I feel better in myself when I'm actually in ketosis. Big fan of cauliflower rice. Cauliflower, yeah, it's great. I've always got like basically like a freezer drawer that's like half full of cauliflower rice, half full of frozen veg. Easy. It's just easy, innit? De Bruyne has dropped back a bit deeper. He's not really playing out on this right-hand side, though, is he? Like, he's kind of in the 10 hole. It's kind of like sitting like that in attack. Hazard coming a bit deeper. Doku he's really holding the width out there. You've been eating healthy for 4 days, you're not skinny yet. It's bullshit, isn't it? It's absolute bullshit. It's like, I remember, like, I was eating 2,000 less than 2,000 calories a day. And I went to the gym every other day. And then I wasn't The Rock. Like, fuck's that about? That's not... Surely that's how this is supposed to work, okay? Spinazzola just looking really dangerous again. He's been... Who does Spinazzola play for? He's been really, really impressive. I think he's been the most... Maybe not the best Italian player, but the one that's really stood out the most for me. Doesn't the Rock eat a stupid amount of calories? Well, yeah, like any bodybuilder does. Bodybuilders eat ridiculous amounts of calories because... And the same with, like, powerlifters and stuff. Because they spend all day training. So they burn through it. So you've got to give your body that fuel, or else your body will start digesting muscle and stuff. Is he a Roma? He's under Jose. Jose. It's a hard J when it's Portuguese, isn't it? Yeah, he's always a fan of a left back. Verratti and a yellow card. Name a more iconic duo. I really like Tielemans. Because he had a lot of hype about him when he was at Anderlecht. And then when he finally made the move to Leicester, I wondered whether it was just going to be one of those, you know, he's good on Football Manager signings, isn't in real life. But he just keeps getting better. Just keeps getting better and better and better. John Moxley got a McDonald's and 100 chicken nuggets and a milkshake. Right-footed left back. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't stop him getting to the byline though. Like you see it on like in the Belgian side, where they've obviously got Torgan Hazard playing there. Like from what I've seen from him today, anyway, like, he tends to drift in a lot more and like be on that right foot. Spinazzola seems happy to try and beat his man on the outside and whip a crossing, as much as he is, you know, looking to cut inside and play any stronger foot. The FA Cup goal, oh man, outstanding. Who do I think will win the match? It's really in the balance. Like I expected Belgium to be playing a much deeper, much more counter-attack based game, just based on the fact they had Doku in the side, based on the fact that they've got like a slow backline, but they've really not been playing that way. It's been a lot more even than I thought it'd be. No real great chances yet. Obviously there was the goal that was chalked off. But that's a set piece. That was a poorly defended set piece as well. Neither team's really made any very good chances. Cracking save. But yeah, like when you like Italy have probably got, I was going to say they've probably got the better 11. I don't think they do. Like position by position, probably slightly stronger. I think defensively they're stronger. But the fact that they have De Bruyne, the fact that they have Lukaku at Belgium, have those players, they're always going to be dangerous. They're always going to be in with a chance of scoring. Donny Rummer. He's proper lanky, isn't he? Real beanpole goalie. Is that a Malaga save? Nice. Oh. That was a proper donkey cross, that, wasn't it? Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, Belgium seem to be good at, like, because they are playing a pretty high line. But they do tend, they seem to be really well drilled at dropping at the right pace. So they're always keeping the play in front of them. Which is quite impressive, to be fair. Like, you see so many teams that play a high line get caught out and have players being able to get balls in behind and run and like really attack and run beyond them. Whereas the way they're dropping off means that they've always got the plays in front of them all the time. Fatty Hazard. Well, he picked up a knock the other day, didn't he? So he, like, I think it was a last minute fitness check. And obviously he didn't make it because Doku's in the side. But to be honest, like, it could be a good thing having Doku there. Because it gives, like I was saying earlier, it gives them that express pace. The outball that, you know. Lukaku's fast. But Doku's very fast. Donnarumma. Looks like a good keeper. Yeah, thanks for that, Dave. shitting themselves when Lukaku's running at them. I mean, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you be shitting yourself if you had Lukaku running at you? Yeah, he's had a properly torrid season though, Hazard, hasn't he? He's just had injury after injury. There we go, just well defended again. De Bruyne is so good. What minute's everyone on in chat? I'm guessing you guys are like 25-minute plus. 26:30, 26:30. See, I'm on 25:30 at the minute. Fucking iPlayer. I think me and Dave are on the same time. Everyone's a minute ahead. There's going to be spoilers in chat. The younger Hazard's really proved himself at last season. Yeah, like, obviously his move to Dortmund's really paid off. You know, a young attacker, get yourself to Dortmund. They just develop players so well there. I'm guessing Badatori's an iPlayer as well. Game's livening up a bit now, isn't it? Nice breakaway for Belgium. Really good chance for Italy there. The off-the-ball movement of Chiesa, who's now playing on this left-hand side, by the way, is really good. He's very good at drifting into the little gaps, isn't he? And finding the blindside run. They're a feeder club. Yeah, to Bayern usually. Although, to Man United this time. They're basically just the German Spurs. How you doing, Raz? You good? Won't be spoiling penalties this time. Got a bit end-to-end. Well, that's the thing is, I think the longer the game goes on, I think the more stretched it's going to get. I think this Italian defense can be got at, though. Obviously, Bonucci and Chiellini are incredible defenders, but neither of them are quick. And they're playing they're almost dropping into a very wide back three. So obviously Spinazzola is getting very high up the pitch. And they're spreading out into this. Not only in possession, but in transition as well. If you can get Doku attacking these channels here. Like I say, he's a very, very quick boy. I think this defense can be got at. Because Italy are pushing so many players at the pitch. Like you see here when Belgium are defending on the edge of their box. So they're kind of splitting like this. De Bruyne is dropping in. Doku's kind of holding his worth and Lukaku's up top, so. But Spinazzola is right up there. And the midfield's kind of empty because Jorginho's pushing on. Getting into the final third. Ending up with this. You could have a quick turnaround. Like you saw it before. De Bruyne got the loose ball, managed to turn the defense, and he was just through. It was him and Lukaku through. A good movement by Lukaku to open up space for De Bruyne. But I think if they get the ball into Doku's feet, get him running at these OAPs. At least Dortmund have won the league in the last 20 years. Very true. Yeah. Very good point. Well made. It is coming home. You're not wrong, what's his face? How you doing, man? You good? It's coming home. Speaking of it coming home, tomorrow no stream. Going to be watching the England game. I was debating doing a watch along for it, but I'm actually doing a watch along with my mates on a Zoom call. So I'll be doing that. But I will be live Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, with Mozza. If you don't know Mozza, Scottish lad. Does a load of lower league football stuff. But he's also doing his Euro breakfasts. So I'm going to be live at 9 o'clock. Italy 1-0. And like I was saying earlier, that wasn't very good defending. Like the Belgian defense is not their strong suit. I wasn't even aware that Thomas Vermaelen was still a football. He's Scottish. Other than that, he's all right. Yeah, of course. It's just poor defending. Why is he trying to... Why is your centre-back... Why is Jan Vertonghen trying to dribble the ball out of defence when they've got players attacking? Like, at that point, clear your lines. Like, that is just really, really bad defending. That's some football manager shit right there. Barella. There he is. Who was it before saying they were simping for him? What Spurs got rid of him? That's the thing. Like he was a very good defender, but I think he's just... I don't know. Who's the next... Who are the next centre-backs coming through for Belgium? Like, because Boyata's not young anymore, is he? Denayer isn't young anymore. Alderweireld, Vermaelen, Vertonghen, like, they're all early to mid-30s. They're all kind of in the twilights of their career. Another golden generation wasted. I can relate, being an England fan. When you look back at that... Courtois very lucky there, Jesus. I was looking back at the early 2000, like the 2006 England squad. That was obscene. Bono. But yes, it's not young anymore, or a defender that you want on. Good points, well made. God, I look knockout football. It's great, isn't it? Like, even a pretty dull Switzerland-Spain game before was just entertaining because it's knockout football. And, you know, we all love penalties. Vermaelen's still at Barca. No. Is he in Japan? I thought he was in China. He's somewhere. Well, this could be... I mean, he's going to force Belgium to push out, take more risks. You've still got De Bruyne and Lukaku on the pitch. So you're always, you know, a good chance of scoring a goal. But it could just, like, open up, you know, open up spaces for the Italians to attack. Insigne just casually playing left back there. Spinazzola is ludicrously attacking, isn't he? More often than not, he's the highest player at the pitch all the time. So how do we think it goes now, chat? What's the difference maker going to be? Doku's been, like, a passenger this game. I've not really seen much into him. Obviously, lots of De Bruyne, Lukaku's look dangerous. But he's their only other real attacking outlet. Like, Axel Witsel isn't going to be bursting forward. Neither's Tielemans, to be fair. Like, he'll drift up the pitch and look to create, get his foot on the ball and create from deep. But he's not a box-to-box player. He's not going to be getting into the box. Not like Barella did and, like, finishing off chances. What changes? Do they try and get Hazard on? Like, do they try and force him into the side? Even if he's not fit? Well, they've got players like Mertens, they've got Bash. Hello, are we back? Just had an OBS crash. Wonderful, lovely. Damn you! Yeah, OBS is great. I think we're back though. We're back though. It's fine. What I'll have to do is do a. I'll probably have to do a check on my because when this happens, it's usually like. Oh, there has just been an OBS update as well. Maybe I'll roll it back. It's probably a Windows update thing though. There's probably going to be a motherboard reflash needing to happen. Hi.
And Wallop.
And Wallop. Veggie hot dog. Thank you so much for the raid. How you doing? Raid. Welcome in, guys. How you doing? No veggie, no party. Vegetables. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you for the follow, my dude. We're good, yeah, we're good. Literally, wonderful timing. We just had an OBS crash, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. But yeah. Were you watching the football as well, or were you watching the earlier game? Another penalty shootout. Beautiful stuff. Italy look like they've smelt blood. Like, getting at that defense. Vermaelen looks shattered. Starting a call-in show. Excellent. All go well? In other sport, Andy Murray's having a shitter. Well, yeah, like, I mean, he was debating whether he needed to retire. Was it 3 years ago when he had his hip replacement, essentially? So he's just doing it for the love of the sport now, surely. Like, he's obviously still mentally and physically very good, but he's just not to the level he used to be. No callings tonight, but the first show, we had a good chat about years in the VAR. What's your opinion on VAR, then? Seeing as that was one of your discussion points. What are your feelings on it? I, personally, I'm for VAR. I'm against how the Premier League implement VAR. I think the way VAR's been used, and to be fair, the way VAR was used by in the Champions League and the Europa League last year, I thought was fantastic. I think the way that it's been used in the Euros so far has been brilliant. Like, minimal intrusion, correct decisions, you know, and quick turnaround. Whereas in the Premier League, it just seems like everything's done wrong. It's good in principle, but the use. Yeah, 100%. Like, the rules are either wrong or the implementation's wrong, but having correct decisions, like, that's always going to be a good thing. Like, having the right decision, making sure the penalty is right, making sure a goal should stand. VAR of the year has been so much better. Oh yeah, 100%. There's still like little things like, you know, the linesman not putting the flag up when it's a clear offside, and just little things like that I still understand the arguments. But I think for the future of the game, and like I say, just making sure things are right, like, you know, checking red cards and like the Ukraine game the other day, the Sweden-Ukraine game. Like, went back, saw the challenge again, decided it was a red. You know, because you didn't get a good view of it at the moment. Oh, Immobile, you greedy bastard! Was that Chiesa who was just free to run onto it then? Insinuated the. Oh, I'm like a minute behind. Not my. No spoilers, please. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm watching on the BBC iPlayer, and there's just like a minute delay. No, it's all right. It's cool. You weren't aware, but now I just get to wait for it. Oh my! Wow! What a finish! Nokins, naughty. Wonderful finish. Yeah, you can't be mad about that. Like, as much of a horror goal the first one was, like, through bad defending. I mean, he had the space to pull it off, but I mean, with a finish like that, just found the space, wasn't closed down enough. But what a finish. Belgian fanboys dicking in the chat. Oh, Vlam's not going to be happy. Very tasty goal. Oh, you doing, Reese? You good, man? Good to see you, dude. I realised I've still got my belt on. What's all that about? The wee man has done it. Wonderful finish. Oh. There we go, that's better. I can release my gut now. So obviously the next couple of weekends. So the idea is going forward. Sorry. Oh, game on. Juicy. That's the first, like, I was saying this earlier, right? It's the first time that you've really seen Doku get into the game. And he's got pace to burn. And he uses his pace to get behind his man. Let's have a look at this again. He does shove him. He does shove him. Oh, it's a soft penalty, though, isn't it? Cheater. I don't think he's cheating. He did get shoved. You know, when you get shoved when you're being sprinted, you fall over. But, like, it's whether it... That's whether being pushed is... Being pushed in that position is a penalty. That's making me laugh of anything these days. Well, yeah, I mean, but you see why. Which game was it now the other day? I forget which game it was. There was a game... Was it the Denmark game? I forget. Where, like basically, the player got chopped. It might have even been Lukaku in the last game. Where there was a badly timed challenge. He's tried to stay on his feet, and it would have been a penalty if he'd have gone down. Oh. See if he comes until Dan reacts. Ah, it's fine. You're never going to get everyone on the same time. Never a pen back in mind. You're only inviting someone to go down with a shove in the area. I mean, yeah, it's a really good point. Why give someone the opportunity? Like, because if he gets his foot onto it, then he might keep it in. Good penalty by Big Rom. Oh. Just watch replays of Insigne's goal at halftime. Just put that on for 15 minutes. He kicks the ground. Yeah. Spoiler alert. It's halftime. Nice. Dean, thanks for the follow, dude. Can we rewatch Pogba's goal too? I mean, you can. I can't broadcast it. What a game, though. Ooh. I've won some money as well. I had over 2.5 goals in both teams to score in this. Money. How much money have we all won? I've won probably about £2. Money. How much do you get? You get nothing, kids. You bet on Lukaku to score 10. He only needs 9 more. He only needs 9 more. And, you know, at this point, it could happen. Oh, have I got a free in-play bet? Here we go. Let's go. Free £1 in-play bet. Belgium 13-1 to win. Let's have a bit of that. Donkey knees? What? I need to follow as soon as I ruin the Insigne goal. It's only fair. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's fine. Gamble responsibly. Exactly, Kins. That Insigne goal. Yeah, that was wonderful. I mean, Italy's first goal was a cracking finish. Comical defending. Proper Chuckle Brothers stuff. I'll use the free bets this Euros. Yeah, I did put my £5 England free bet on England 5-1. England 5, Germany 1. Didn't quite come off. But, you know, you've got a dream. You won 40 quid the other day and then lost it all on slot machines. Oh, dear. Yeah, looking at that Insigne goal. I mean, it's a wonderful finish. But like he's cut inside here, and they've got like a really narrow back three. I think Immobile is like trying to run off the back of Vertonghen here, but I know it's not Chiesa. So he's trying to run off the Bayern. Immobile's dropped deep, but you've got like the three defenders here. One of them needs to try and step out and close him. But the closer he runs to the goal, the more they're just dropping off. So they gave him the space to shoot. Alderweireld has... I mean, I get Vermaelen not wanting to go for it because he's mindful of the run behind. But Alderweireld has got to step out there. He has got to pressure Insigne. Because he's essentially just got the freedom of all of this part of the pitch here. It's cut into his right, pick his spot. And like I say, it was a wonderful finish. But poor defending from Alderweireld. Yeah, no one goes to the ball. Very poor. But yeah, like I was saying before, like when he won the penalty, Doku, they need to get the ball into Doku more because pace is terrifying. Pace is always a scary thing to deal with. You saw how scared like the defenders were when Lukaku was running at him. When Doku he just knocked the ball past him and sprinted past him in the space of about 4 yards. They need to get him on the ball more. Like, he could really affect the game. I can see Belgium getting another goal in this. Yuri could have taken the early foul. Tielemans. Yeah. Just kind of... Yeah, because he pulled out of the challenge, didn't he? Because Insigne, like, cut inside him here. And he, like, backed out and let him run inside. But I guess, like, it's such a low percentage chance of a player shooting there. But the thing is... Yeah, I mean, Alderweireld's he's got to go and challenge him. I get that Chiesa was running off the back of Vermaelen. But there was no player running this side. There was no player running around here. So even if he steps out, it's not like... Because Spinazzola wasn't as high up, there's not going to be a reverse ball back on. Back this side of this way of the pitch. Yeah, it's just bad defending that from Toby. So Witzel's looking like prime Fellaini. Yeah. He's always had a big throw. Big Rum shushing Donnarumma. I love Big Rum. What a guy. See, that disallowed Italy goal just shows perfect utilization of VAR. So you get the right result. It doesn't take a million miles. Milan rivals. Oh yeah, I never even thought of that. Well, not anymore. Donnarumma's off to PSG, isn't he? So Donnarumma's gone to PSG on a free. Sergio Ramos has gone to PSG on a free. They've signed Gini Wijnaldum on a free. Absolute madness. Who else have they signed? I thought they confirmed the signing of another player now. Oh, Hakimi. Yeah, Ashraf Hakimi is apparently like a done deal, 50 million. PSG v Barcelona for the best free transfer window. Well, yeah, they're signing Messi on a free, aren't they? Hakimi isn't announced yet. No, he's not announced yet, no. But it's apparently like, I'm just going off heavy rumours. Because I heard Chelsea were in for him a week or two ago, but I've not heard anything since, and it just seems like the PSG train keeps rolling on. But Sergio Ramos to PSG is good news for United, potentially bringing in Varane. Did PSG win anything this year? Nope. Can't get Mbappe to sign a contract. Yeah, I don't think they will. I don't think he will. I don't think Mbappe signs a deal. I think he leaves on a free next year. I don't think anyone's paying money for him this year. Barca signed. Oh yeah, I forgot about Garcia. But yeah, Aguero, Depay. I still think PSG have done the better free transfer business. One of the best keepers in the world. One of the best midfielders in the world. And one of the best defenders. One of the best defenders in history. Depay's a good signing. He just adds loads of depth, doesn't he? Like, he's another one of those, like, wide strikers. He's a wide forward. You know, he'll fit well into the Barca side as long as they're going into a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. Mbappe and Messi are stoking a free. Well, I heard that like Liverpool had inquired about Mbappe, but I don't see PSG selling him. They're both Real and Barca have to sell for the Spanish SFP. I think with Messi, isn't he taking like a 50% pay cut? Messi's not going to retire. He's not going to retire. No way Messi retires. I give that a 0 out of 10 chance of happening. I just dribbled beer on myself. PSG came out saying they wouldn't sell him or let him go on a free. Well, he's got 1 year left on his deal. So if he doesn't want to sign a new deal, then he goes on a free. I think Messi retires in 2 or 3 years. I don't see him doing a Ronaldo and like looking like he's going to play until he's in his 40s. I think Ronaldo legitimately could play into his 40s, and I think he'd want to. I think he'd want to go over. He's going to end up in MLS at some point, and he's going to want to like. He's going to want to win stuff. Like, he's going to want to win something there. Because he's won everything wherever he's been. The guy's just an insatiable winner. This was the last crack at the World Cup. I mean, it's next year, isn't it? Oh, it's the Winter World Cup next year, isn't it? Olympics soon. Is that actually happening? There's always rumors that it's being cancelled. There's calls for it to be cancelled, Kins. Because Japan's got a massive coronavirus issue. Yeah. Like Japan's COVID thing is massive. check the little Japanese recruiter guy. Send him an email. Isn't he Australian? Australian. Lukaku needs to do more here. The players behind Lukaku need to do more. Doku, in that one time he got the ball into his feet, looked really dangerous. They need to get him on the ball more. Like, if they get the ball into Doku more, it'll open up more space. Like, right now, the ball is just going around this area. Like, center of the pitch between De Bruyne, Lukaku, and the two midfielders. If they get Doku onto the ball and make him a legitimate threat down this side, it's going to force them to play a little wider, force them to close him down when he's on the ball. Especially if you've got Hazard kind of tucking in behind. She's going to create space for De Bruyne and Lukaku. And if you create space for De Bruyne, he's going to hurt you. Because he is that good. Because right now, it's just kind of like sticking with De Bruyne. You've got the midfielders kind of sat there. Lukaku tends to peel out wide. And it's just like, there's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of committing of players. But you saw it the first time that Doku got the ball into feet. He literally just knocked it past Lorenzo and ran past him like he wasn't there. So you commit players to, like, commit play through him, through Hazard and through Doku. You're going to force them to, like, make compromises in allowing a little bit of space in the middle. Which is where De Bruyne can hurt you. Find it crazy for Marlon still. Yeah, exactly. Like, that is the issue with Belgium. Like, Belgium can always hurt you with the players that they've got, but damn, like, they have got a on the ropes defense, haven't they? Yeah, not Denier. Not Denier, Boyata maybe? Dendonka maybe? I mean, Dendonka played as centre-back for Wolves a fair bit. But he's not exactly incredible, is he? He's all right. Yeah, but you've got to ask, why wasn't Paul Pogba closing down Insigne? Boyata's injured. Ah, okay. I thought Pogba was bang average. Oh, yeah. Pogba was the best player on the pitch in that last France game. He was on one. He was on one the other day. Can maybe gamble on Munia. Munia's injured. That's why Munia in there. Yeah, and have another winger on the... Yeah, maybe. I mean, they might have to go to that. They might have to go to that. They could even drop Witsel back in there. Like, he's a solid defensive midfielder. Like, he's a big guy. He's not bad in the air. Like, you could maybe drop him in there. And bring Hazard in. And maybe, like, go with more of an attacking midfield three. Play more like a bit more of a diamond. Scored a worldie, cost the team a result. Like, yeah, I mean, he got caught on the ball, but I don't think he cost them the game. He got caught on the ball in transition. The kind of player he is, that happens. Like, because he's always going to try and turn and play the ball forward. But some of the passes were just incredible. Some of the balls he was playing from midfield, from deep and high up. Happens so often. Yeah, because that's the kind of player he is. Like, he's always going to take the ball at the feet and try and... He's going to back himself to beat that first press. And he does it more often than not. It's just when he doesn't, especially when he's playing in a midfield too. So, like, when you saw that France side, That France side was so ludicrously attacking. They basically had a back four where the wing backs were getting high. Two in midfield, which was Pogba, who's like a player that likes to drift and get high up the pitch anyway, and Kante, and then literally four strikers. Like, it was the most batshit formation. So, yeah, if one of your midfielders gets caught in possession, then there's a good chance they're going to be in a good position to score. But defender's going to say, yeah, it was poor defense. I thought the centre backs. Ooh, I thought Insigne was going down there. I thought the French centre backs, were really poor. I thought Kimpembe had an especially poor game. Oh, the first half, France were poor. Like, then they came out, switched it on. But yeah, the fair play to Switzerland, really. Like, can never be mad at Kante. Mbappe missed the pen. Like, France missed good chances. France could have won it in regular time. They missed good chances. And mistakes allowed Switzerland back into the game. They did it to themselves. Just remember France could have been 2-0 quite easily. Just weren't very good. Yeah, they just weren't very good. Conte's a wonderful... Yeah. It's always like that with like more ball-winning midfielders and stuff. Because like in fantasy points, he's only goals and assists that get you anything. Clean sheets, yeah, okay. But like defensive midfielders, there's no point. You may as well, like, when you're doing a fantasy league team, you may as well just have all fullbacks. Unless there's a particular centre-back that scores a lot of goals. But like, you may as well have all fullbacks because they're more likely to get assists in defence. You may as well have all like wingers or wide attackers or attacking midfielders in midfield. Because obviously, like I say, goals and assists. And then strikers just get your most prolific guys. Like, I'm guilty of, when I build a fantasy league side, of trying to build a side that would work. You know? It's like, oh, I can't have De Bruyne and David Silva. Like, who's gonna cover the defense there? So and I'll pick a right back and a left back and two centre backs. It's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Am I getting distracted and burnt your dinner? Oh no. What are you having for dinner? Let's not forget that Xhaka was capable of such a performance. I don't think Xhaka can be very good. Like, he's a talented footballer. Like, he's good on the ball. His passing's good. Like, he's great at those line breaking passes. He's always been really good at those. The issue with Xhaka is he's a walking red card. He gives away stupid fouls. He makes challenges when he doesn't need to. Like, he gives away penalties and free kicks around the box when he doesn't need to. He'll get himself sent off. He's just a liability. He's a very talented footballer. He's just a liability. Burger and chips. Well, burnt chips. They're just crunchy. They're just extra crispy. You think the Swiss game was a red? I'd need to properly watch it back because I was on the bus home from work when it happened, so I only saw it on my phone. Yeah, you tell him, Kins. Remember in the first half when I was praising the Belgian defence for dropping off and letting the play be in front of them? They need to drop off less when they get into shooting positions. Chiellini's your ideal man. Would you be the little spoon, Raz? There's no universe where Raz is the little spoon. Everyone likes being a little spoon at some point. Kane, how you doing, man? I bet Raz would be a little spoon for Chris Wood. He's 7'5". That's two different measurements. He's 7 feet and 5 inches. There's Doku again, committing defenders. Honestly, like, they need to get the ball into his feet more. Because he puts defenders on the back foot. Everyone else is happy to take the ball into feet and kind of like play in front of people. You guys are disgusting. I like it. That's a quote we need to add, isn't it? More quotes. Cheers. Immortalized again, Raz. No longer are you solely Beyonce's pissy bed. Frankie de Jong? I'll never forget that. There we go. Doku again, skinning his man. I really like the look of this kid. Like, I know he came on well, he played was it the last group game for Belgium? I like the look of him, though. He's very direct. Lad's got legit afterburners as well. Well done, Kins. GG. Are we just onto the quote spam now? I see how it is. Hey, people in chat. Just your friendly reminder, as a Twitch streamer, to check your Prime Gaming token. Click the subscribe button. You might have a free sub. Make sure you use it every month. I need to update that. Wow, the bot's like literally... We are one. What's wrong with you? I ain't answering that. That's bait, that. That looked like a penalty. That looked like more than a penalty. More of a penalty than the penalty. Look at Doku go, man. Pukki's fantastic in the championship. He's a great striker in the championship. It's just a level too high. Like you see it with loads of players though, like really good players, especially goal scorers. Charlie Austin was the same. Wonderful striker in the championship. Like people have got levels. What's his name? The Scottish guy that's not Scottish. Played for Huddersfield. Was an absolute goal machine in the championship. How have I forgotten his name? Yeah, Jordan Rhodes, that's all. Ollie Watkins. I mean, he had a very good season in the Premier League there. Did he score 13 goals last year? Like, and had an all-round good performance? An all-round good season? He's just re-signed for Huddersfield, hasn't he? Jordan Rhodes. Yeah, scored tons and tons of goals. Went to the Premier League, scored no goals in 6 appearances. Immediately back down to the championship. And he hasn't scored since. I think he might have knocked his confidence a bit. He Rhodes scored most of his goals in League One. He scored a load in the Championship as well. Let's have a look at his stats. So he spent very little time in League One, to be fair. So he scored at Huddersfield, 19 in 45 and 16 in 37 in League One. Then he got 36 in 40. Then went to Blackburn, got 27 in 43, 25 in 46, 21 in 45. Got 10 goals in the first half of the Championship season. Borough bought him, got promoted, did nothing, and then he's barely scored since. You don't support a small village. What? Oh! Oh! What? Deco, how you doing? I mean, there's not much, right? It just comes off the defender's arse. Defending with your arse. Yeah, yeah. Players genuinely need to... What a ball! Oh, it's an awful first touch from Immobile. That was a wonderful ball into the box. Literal arse of defending. Belgium are looking sloppy. Belgium are looking like they're in the FM match engine. They just keep passing the ball to Italians. They do know they're playing in red, right? Chiellini's just great. He still looks like at the top of his game, doesn't he? Slow as foot, but constantly in the right place. I mean, if you can read the game that well, then you don't... You know, if you're making the right decisions in the build-up, you don't need to have quick recovery pace. Like... It was like John Terry was like that. John Terry was slow as fuck. But he was always in the right place. Like, he was always in the path of the ball. He was always cutting off the cross. He was always, like... He was always in the right place at the right time. And, like, it was great in the challenge as well. John Terry shagged your wife. Oh, yeah. That's his MO. Maldini's the best example. I mean, Maldini was quick in his time, but, like, he stopped playing when he was, like, was it 42 or something? He didn't need to be quick then, because he just... Fajitas. I do like a fajita. But yeah, there was a wonderful, like, collage of pictures of Maldini just, like, playing against, like, who was it he was playing against now? So it was, like, playing against Maradona and playing against, like, R9 and then like, all these, like, greatest strikers to ever have played the game. It was just, like, him playing against all of them. Maldini and Nesta. And Cannavaro. Those early 2000s, early to mid 2000s Italian defenders. Absolute, just next level. Cafu's not Italian, Dave. The left back. The left back was in that position. That Milan. Yeah, that's just that Milan defense. Put me 2 seconds, chat. I can blow my nose. Oh, that's better. The pollen's so high today. I don't usually get really bad hay fever, but... Christ. When it's as humid and pollen-full. Snot, yes. Hay fever? It's not really hay fever. I just get a bunged up nose. To get a bung up nose and like phlegmy. Maybe you're allergic to the north. No. No. You think you are? How would you know? Patient Zero Kins. Oh. Ginger Kev. Just a little bit too much mustard on that touch. Doth my eyes deceive me? That's Spinazzola in his own half. Oh no, he's in the penalty box now. Safe to make a COVID-related joke. Yeah, should do. Just make it funny. Exactly, kids. Just make sure it's really funny. Yeah. Don't copy me. You said that after I'd said it. How do Belgium change this game? What do they do? I feel like they need to sacrifice the double pivot. Or maybe even one of the centre backs. Score. Oh, yeah. So Munier off. Nasser Chadley's on. I wonder whether he's going to switch over there. They're going to bring Hazard to this right-hand side. Wait, did they just bring off... Did they just bring off Tielemans? Oh, they have. They brought in Dries Mertens. Okay. Oh! What a ball across the goal. I think you're about a minute ahead. Yeah, I'm on the iPlayer, so I'm like a minute behind. Oh, how's Lukaku missed that? He tried to head it when it was past him. Oh. You're an RTE player. Don't know what that is. You're 74. Yeah, me same, Dave. Want Belgium to score again. We want more penalties, right? We want more penalty shootouts. Hazard just must not be fit. Like, if you're not bringing Hazard on at this point. I like the look of this Doku kid. Who's that coming on? Oh no, it's Munier. Kelly was a good sub. Is he done already? Has he done his quad? Oh, you hate to see that. Oh, they're bringing Belotti on. Belotti's a weird looking guy, right? Jesus. That's terrifying. Who knew Sean Dyche had such a good ass? He'd eat that with a spoon. He's coming off, though. Alright, Pratt's coming on. So... I reckon Dokubu's there. That's probably what we're looking at, right? Doku's going to play more as the wingback. Immobile off for Belotti. Cristante's on. Nice. Lukaku looks upset. Big Rom. Poor Big Rom. Chiellini marketing, he's really doing it for me. No one's too big for a cuddle. A rare bad touch from De Bruyne. Pressure showing. 15 minutes. What do we think the result is, chat? Do we see Belgium getting another goal? They've kind of got to throw caution to the wind now, right? They are pressing high. To get in the position is just wasting their chances. Yeah, like I said, like, how often do you see a miscontrolled ball from De Bruyne? Like, oh no, Spinazzola. Oh, that's a shame. He's been one of the performers of the tournament, hasn't he? They just tackled him at the ground. A textbook Brazilian jiu-jitsu takedown. Hate to say it, I think it'll end like this. Yeah. I mean, they got Bonucci and Chiellini. You're not exactly left wanting for defensive decision-making, are you? Still 10 minutes to play. There's still time. Something to happen. I think it's more likely that Belgium get like overly attacking and reckless, and Italy. Next goal, Belotti. Breakaway, counter-attack. Will you be discussing the Czech and Denmark game? I will be after, yeah. We have a look at the Czech-Denmark game. Obviously, the England game tomorrow as well. I'm going to look into it. Oh. Hate to see that. Poor guy. He's not a Nissan Micra. How do you know? He might be. Here's a question. Why is Insignia's head and neck a different colour to the rest of his body? What's all that about? Who was that on for Insignia there? Immobile, was it? The smallest man in the universe? I don't think he is. Maybe not the smallest man in the universe. Isn't Emerson another free transfer? Is he a free transfer? Is his contract up this year? Interesting. Unconstipated potato. Oh, Berardi's on for Insignia. Let's get Berardi on. We've got so many just like-for-like changes. We've got very good squad, Italy. But that the Spinazzola, if he is out, that's massive, because he's like one of the real danger men, isn't he? It doesn't look good for him, does it? As he's crying while strapped to a gurney. Insignia's the same height as Ryan Fraser. You just gotta feel sorry for Ryan Fraser, really. .5'3". He's only little. You know you're short when, you know, even Curty towers over you. Sorry, Curty. Well, the game's kind of like fizzling out a little bit, isn't it? Yes. When she's done a fantastic job of rotating players in and out regularly this year. Yeah, and it's like I was saying, they've got so many like-for-like changes that they can make. Like, just a lot of play, like, maybe not like-for-like in play style, but certainly like-for-like in terms of ability and quality. Like, he's just made 4 or 5 substitutions. And it's not weakened the side at all. It's just another very good player who plays in that position. What's Axel Witsel doing up on the right wing? Guy's gonna get a nosebleed. Really deep team. Yeah, I was saying earlier that the big thing for them is going to be like how they replace that central defensive partnership. Like, I think Bonucci will still be there next year. Well, for the World Cup. But this is probably Chiellini's last tournament, right? But, you know, it's Italy. They've probably got loads of really good young defenders. Doku just keeps going. Ooh. Doku's been really impressive today. He's been, like... He's been their danger guy. De Bruyne has struggled to get into the game. Lukaku's flubbed a couple of chances. Just that punching players. You've been spending too much time with Raz. There's got to be another roll of the dice for the Belgians, surely. Has Hazard even got his boots on? Because at this point, you just do it, don't you? Just put him on. Maybe put Batshuayi on, or put Benteke on. Put Lukaku and Benteke on, and just smash the ball into the box. Back in Lukaku against everyone. Is that when him and Zlatan were kicking off and it's like, who do you back? Lukaku every time. Every time. He's the size of a bus. Get big Christian on. You'd back Zlatan. Well, you know, you're welcome to your incorrect opinion. Zlatan had spent too much time talking about how he'd win. How many defenders Italy have got in the box there now? This is the issue. This is an issue, right? So, Belgium have just won the ball, like, outside the Italians' half, and they've still only got 4 players, like, ahead of the ball. Like, around, like, either lateral to or ahead of the ball. You got 4 minutes. Commit some players. Zlatan got battered by Gattuso. I mean, Gattuso would batter most people, right? Yeah, like, the heads just seem to, like, drop when something doesn't come off. You know what they remind me of? They remind me of England like that. Like, England do that a lot. Or at least they used to. Like, when something doesn't come off or, like, the game's in the balance, they just seem to just... They'd rather... Look like they'd rather have a whinge about it than do something about it. Gattuso squared up to Joe Jordan. Yeah, the man... He's not a smart man. I was glad if Belgium were knocked out. I'd be terrified to see Doku v England. I don't know. Like Doku's been really good, but I think if there's one thing we can deal with, it's pace out wide. Like, especially if we played with a back five system. We dealt with Germany really well last game. We dealt with Werner really well, and then we dealt with Sane when he came on as well. I've got very good football knowledge and I have no idea who Doku is. The only reason I know who Doku is because I signed him on FM. Was it last year or the year before? And he was really good. And then, like, I've kind of kept an eye on him. And obviously, like, I've spoken to Vlam about him. So, like, he's followed his progression. He's at, is he at Nice now? Or is it Nimes or something? He's in France. Because he started at Anderlecht, had a really promising start. He's still only, like 19, I think. Gattuso square to himself, yeah. You could start a fight in a phone booth. He's been impressive tonight, though, hasn't he, Raz? Like direct, good control. Very quick. Dokero wins. Been frustrating to see Belgium play so poorly. There's been a lot of like poor first touches and like just sloppy play from Belgium. I don't think there's been too much difference between the two of them. Like defensively, like I say, like the Insigne goal, that someone should have closed him down. Like that was a poor defensive decision. The Vertonghen's decision to try and dribble the ball out of his own box when they were coming out of a high press, like an attacking breakdown, that was bizarre. So, like, 2 mistakes have cost them goals. I mean, you almost can't quantify for someone bending it in from 30 yards. Like, that's... But the situation that led to that shot being able to be taken... Is it Rennes he plays for? I forget. I know he went to a French side. How much the Italian defensive side will change now? Yeah, like this is going to be Chiellini's last tournament, surely. So you'd think it'd be Bonucci +1, at least. But maybe a Serbi comes in. Like Bastoni's really highly regarded as well, isn't he? Like I said earlier, it's Italy. They're gonna like. They're not short of defensive options. 5 minutes of added time, chat. Exciting. Chiesa for Toloy. Going 5 at the back. Where are you, Toloy? There you are. You'd assume they'd be doing, right? Oh, man. Keepers get very preferential treatment like that, don't they? Like, he came flying out, went in for a 50-50 ball, fell over, and now he gets a free kick. Only got eyes for the ball. Yeah, yeah. Why is that a foul? Get up. Get up, you soft bastard. Now he's wasting time. Of course he is. Looking for an ACC free kicks in those scenarios. It's almost like they'd rather give the free kick than deal with the potential fallout of, like, being questioned about what happened. So it's a foul because he injured his own finger trying to catch the ball and not being able to do it? Right, well, while this is happening, I'm getting another beer. VEA Uniform. Come on, Belgium. You've got 2 minutes. Do they have any more subs left? Belgium losing their rag a bit. And Italy are just rolling about on the floor. I'd be losing my rag. Martin Keown just said Jan Vertonghen's done an excellent game. He cost him the first goal. He cost him the first goal by trying to dribble out from the back. Controversial opinion there. Keown been watching with his back to the game. Must have been. Have Belgium made all their subs? They have to have done, right? They must have made all their subs. They've made 3 subs. You got 6, right? It was a great defender. Oh, yeah, yeah. So, they've used 3 subs when they should be throwing every... Oh, yeah. Hazard's not even got his boots on. I mean, like, you would just put Benteke on, right? Just lump it up to him. Get the ball in the box. Force people backwards. 5-1 extra time. Ah, yeah. Really good. I mean, Ali McCoy gets some of the bigger games, doesn't he? Emma Hayes has been great though. Like a current manager knows a shit. There's 2 people in the box, and it's over the added time. Someone shoot! Last minute corner. Courtois up. There we go. Game over. Did Vertonghen just empty someone? Nah, this is game over. It's the 97th minute of 5 added on. And there we go. Game over. Two defensive mistakes cost Belgium. You think Italy are going to win this? Italy have been really impressive. The fact, so like, Spinazzola looks like he's out for the tournament. So Spinazzola is, so these are going to play Spain. So this is going to be a Spinazzola-less Italy against Spain. That could be a really good game, that. Could be a very good game. And Spinazzola's like been so dynamic on that left hand side, like playing literally like a left winger at times. Like in that first half, you had Insigne like dropping deep, playing in midfield almost. Like, well, that's Berardi obviously, but then you had Spinazzola as like the highest player at the pitch a lot of the time, being that out ball. I wonder whether they're going to be able to get the same out of Emerson, you know? Morata v Chiellini. Yeah, if Morata has a good game. He was very quiet today. But his link-up play, like the rest of the tournament's been good. They're quite similar sides. Like, they've got very good footballing midfields. I think Italy have got the edge in the head-to-head lineups, though, because Spain are poor in defense. I have not been convinced by Spain's defending at all this tournament. They've not been. The rest of the teams got them out of it a bit. So I think more Insigne, Berardi, like whoever's played in that front line alongside Immobile. I think they're gonna have the better of the defense. I think they're gonna get the better of the. They're going to have a better chance scoring against them, basically.
And Warmup.
Kemser! Oh! How you doing, man? Thank you for the raid, my dude. Looks more... I mean, like, this is... Is this going to be the last tournament for a lot of them, maybe? It's definitely Vermaelen's last tournament. Possibly Vertonghen's, possibly Alderweireld. Like, Witzel's got another tournament or two in him. Like, Torgan Hazard. De Bruyne's got another couple in him. Because what's De Bruyne? He's 30 now, is he, De Bruyne? So he's got the next World Cup and maybe the Euros after that. Lukaku's, what, 28? Oh, good. Forza Italy. Forza Italia. Is he taking his pants off? Just lad walking around with his knob out. Controversial. Well, it was a different game than I expected. Italy looked good all the way through, and Belgium were the orchestrators of their own downfall, really. I mean, is there any other way to talk about it other than that? Are you off, Reese? Take it easy, man. They never look like world number one. Well, they haven't in any tournament, have they, yet? As soon as it hit the 80th minute, you can see it hold it out. It wasn't a surprise, was it? In conclusion, they fucked it. Yeah, pretty much. But they've got a lot of very good young players coming through. I mean, Doku was particularly impressive tonight. I think Doku was their best player tonight. He was quiet in the first half. Obviously had that run that won him the penalty. But when he got the ball into feet, when they managed to get the ball to him and he could commit his defender, he looked really good today. Just a very good performance from him. I don't think any of the defenders covered themselves in glory today. Witsel and Tielemans were kind of like with much of a muchness. Lukaku had that golden chance, that gilt edge chance, where who was it who kept it off the? Was that Spinazzola? Who saved it with his arse off the line, basically. Right. Well, should we have a look at the games that are happening tomorrow? Bit of a brief look into it. So we'll start with. I mean, I'll probably end up going more into the England-Ukraine and like predicted lineups and all that kind of stuff. But should we have a look at the Denmark-Czech Republic game first? See how that's looking. So obviously, like some standout players, I'd say Denmark have got the edge in terms of players. I think they've got the better squad. The Czechs have got some very good players, don't get me wrong, but I think the Danes have got more game changers. I think their starting 11's just a little bit better. I've been really impressed with. I mean, Simon Kjær has been very good, but Joachim Mæhle, or Mæhle, however you pronounce his name, I think he's been really, really impressive as a left back. And then in midfield, like, they're a known quantity. They're just a good side. The Czech Republic have got some really good players, and I think that Patrick Schick's been one of the standout performers at the tournament. Just looks a real kind of like multi-threat striker. Where's the? I'm just pulling up the squads. But yeah, just looks like a real multi-threat striker. And obviously they've got the midfield behind with like Thomas Soucek's really good at getting into the box and supporting. A few like very good players like Soufal, their right back. But so let's pull up their squad and like their predicted starting 11. So we'll have a look at their run to the semis first. So obviously Czech were in the group with England and Scotland and Croatia. Beat Scotland with that wonder goal in the first game, which, you know, we all know how good that was. A 1-1 draw with Croatia was a decent result, and then England beat them 1-0 in the final game. I think England looked pretty comfortable in that game. It wasn't the best performance, but it was a comfortable 1-0 win, I thought, anyway. Obviously beat the Dutch when they went out of 10 men. They kind of like, again, a team that's just killed it for themselves. Then you got Denmark in the quarters. Denmark, that Finland 1-0 loss, I think, is really harsh on them. They were like, they weren't forced to play it then, but they were almost pretty much forced to play it. I really hope Denmark wins that one. Yeah, me too. I'm still an honorary Dane for this game. Still an adopted Dane. Then obviously it lost to Belgium, and then made it through the group stage with that when they battered Russia. They looked really, really good in that Russia game. They obviously completely dismantled Wales as well, and I think they're just growing into the tournament. I think they were unlucky to lose against Belgium as well, to be honest. I think they had a good performance. Belgium just had the quality to make the difference. That Kevin De Bruyne goal that against them was wonderful. But yeah, like scored 4 in the last 2 games. I think they're coming into this game on and up, and obviously they've got that extra drive. They want to do it for Christian Eriksen. So I could see them really kind of, yeah, like just taking the game to them and probably winning it. I'd say that they're the favourites for this. Who scored? Think about it actually. Who's the favourites? So previous 6 meetings. Right, so they're likely to score more goals, and yeah, it's a pretty even. Last 6 meetings, Denmark's won 1 of them, and the rest have been draws. So there's not a lot going into it. You've got Simon Kjær, Yusuf Poulsen, Daniel Vass, who are all doubtful for the game. Lucas Probod isn't in the game. So this is how they're expected to line up, I guess. Expect away and all that. Dinmeat. Who was that? Welsh Tramp, thank you so much, my dude. Using a Prime Gaming sub. Really appreciate it, man. Like I said before, Patrick Schick, been one of the standout performers. Kasper Dolberg had a really good game last game. Everyone who plays Football Manager knows about Kasper Dolberg, and he looked like the Kasper Dolberg that people know. Like I say, Mela on this left-hand side and Stiger Larsen have been really impressive with the wing-back spots. Defensively, Christensen, Kjær, Vestergaard, all very good defenders. I think they've just got a really good squad. And Damsgaard's come into the team, and...
Jordan Millie gifted a tier 1 sub to
Millie!
CTI. God damn it.
Thank you so much, my dude.
103 gift subs in the channel.
Gifting us up to the channel. I appreciate that, my dude. Reese, enjoy your free sub. Yeah, Damsgaard's come in and actually been very impressive. Playing in that 10 spot where Eriksson would have been playing. He scored that awesome goal against Russia, obviously, but just looked tricky, looked quick, looked creative. So he could be one of the difference makers. There's obviously a few players missing, but they've got players who could come in, like maybe Poulsen will come back in. You've got Skov and Skov Olsen, who are both good, you know, very like wingers who get a lot of goals. You got Jonas Vind. So you've got these players who can come in and make a difference. I think the only spot where they struggle to have replacements is in midfield. But they've got players who can make the difference there. Whereas with the Czechs, you're looking at like I think Vashlik has been a really, really impressive goalie. One of the goalkeepers of the tournament, I'd say. Really impressive. Considering he's a backup for, is it Sevilla? So the backup keeper for Sevilla. He's had a really good tournament. Kalas is obviously a very accomplished centre back. But the rest of the team, you're kind of looking at Patrick Schick, Sushek, Sufal, like Hlozek. People who play Football Manager will know about Hlozek, but he's not really done a whole lot to impress me in the tournament. They got Matti Vidra, who's a Burnley backup. Saidi Yankto as well can come into that midfield. But I just feel like on the strength of the squad, whilst the Czechs have been impressive, and they obviously have a very well set up squad and a system that works for them, I just see the Danes are going to be too strong for them. I think Denmark are going to run out. What should we say? 3-1 winners maybe. Denmark looks solid. Denmark have just got a really good team. They've just got a very good squad. Like I say, they've got options up front. Like, their midfield's really solid. Defensively, they're really good. They've got a couple of players who've been standout. Schmeichel's a very good keeper as well. So you could really see them, kicking on. You know, maybe making it through the semis, where they're more than likely. I don't want to go full Diz and say, oh, England are going to win this easy. But they're more than likely going to be meeting England, aren't they? Let's be honest. They're probably meeting England. And again, on the strength of squads, England have got to win this, right? They've got to win this. They've got to be winning this game. Game changers all over, like probably up there with the strongest starting 11s in the tournament. Defensively, like England have always had the criticism of being defensively shaky, or like they've not had the best defensive options, but they've not conceded a goal so far in the tournament, so that's good. Looked really good defensively, even when Maguire wasn't in there. I think Tyrone Mings did a solid job. When we went to the back three in the last game, they were fantastic. I thought all three of the defenders, so Maguire, Stones, and Walker, all played really, really well. And all had pretty standout performances. And he was just solid from everyone else. Shaw was great in the second half. I thought Bukayo Saka was really dangerous. Sterling obviously got his goal. Harry Kane got a goal as well. It was just a really, really good all-round performance. And when you look at the players available for England and the game changers off the bench, you've got to think that you know, they're coming out of this on top. So obviously a 1-0 win, sorry, a 3-2 win for the Dutch against Ukraine in what was the game of the first round, right? That was a wonderful game, Ukraine versus the Dutch. Then they beat North Macedonia and lost 1-0 to Austria, but still made it through with the 3 points. They were 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 The team with the lowest points that made it through on the tiebreaker, I think. Then they beat Sweden. Sweden didn't beat Sweden. Ukraine beat... I was doing this very late last night. Ukraine beat Sweden 2-1. And now they've got England. England obviously haven't conceded yet. A 1-0 win against Croatia. 0-0 against Scotland. And a 1-0 win against the Czech Republic. Then we beat the Germans 2-0. In a game that I thought was just... Like I say, I thought it was just a really, really good performance from England. Let's have a look at the prediction. So England have won 3 of the last 6 meetings against the Ukraine. The predicted lineup is a 4-2-3-1, which I wouldn't be surprised to see. We do have Dean Henderson's out. Declan Rice is doubtful with an injury, but he's also 1 yellow away from a suspension, so he's probably going to miss out anyway. Kieran Trippier is doubtful as well with an injury, apparently. I wasn't aware of that. So that could change how things go for the English. This is how they lined up last game. This is the predicted lineup for the Ukraine. This is how England lined up last time. Like I say, the back 3 played exceptionally well, but I'd be surprised if we went with the back 5 again in this game. I think we're going to be more in control of the game, and we're going to want to get players on who can affect the game against what's probably going to be a deep counter-attacking back 5. If we play Maguire, I'd rather have 3 at the back. I don't know. I think Maguire and Stones can be a good centre-back partnership. I think they can be a really good centre-back partnership. Kegman, thank you for the raid, my dude. How you doing, man? How many of those Ukrainian games are injured from the Swedish game? So, according to who scored, we have Denis Popov, Artem Bezedin, Yarmolenko, and Zubkov are doubtful. So there's the chance that Yarmolenko isn't going to start there. Zubkov, potentially injured. Who else was there? Popov, Bezedin, Zubov. So these are the players that started off. Like it was players that came on that mainly got injured. But I think they're going to try and like patch up Yarmolenko and get him out there because he is one of their game changers. Even though he's getting on a little bit, even though he's not quite the player he once was. Welcome, guys. Thank you for the raid, Keg, man. How you doing, man? Not bad. Yeah, man. It is warm, isn't it? Take it easy, man. Thanks for the raid, dude. Appreciate it. Adi, thanks for the follow, dude. Welcome. But where were we? So, yeah, like, this is the predicted lineup, I guess. Assuming Yarmolenko's going to get in. Yeah, get in. It's the team they started with last time. There might be changes, but I'll be honest, I'm not that well up on the Ukrainian team. Like, I know Yaremchuk, I know Yarmolenko. Like, I know quite a few of the starting players. So, obviously, Zinchenko, Karavayev, Stepanenko, and Kristov. Like, are players that I'm aware of, but I just don't know the squad that well. And when you're looking at the changes that England could make. So, maybe Walker comes out. And maybe Trippier is injured. Oh, well, we've just got Champions League winning Reece James to come in on the right side there. Luke Shaw's probably going to start over there because Chilwell, I don't even know if he's fit, to be honest. Like, obviously, he didn't start the games. He then had to self-isolate. I wonder whether he's just going to be there as as an option. It wouldn't surprise me to see both Phillips and Rice come out for this game because they're both 1 yellow away from a suspension. So you could probably see Henderson coming in to start and maybe either Mason Mount as a slightly deeper option there or maybe Jude Bellingham are going to start in that midfield. Saka had a good game last game, but I don't think kind of set the world alight. I could definitely see Sancho maybe getting a start or potentially Foden coming back in. And then probably Grealish is going to play as well. Unless he wants to keep him as that game changer off the bench. I could maybe see us going back to a 4-2-3-1 with Grealish playing up there or potentially Mount up in the 10 with Bellingham and Henderson as the double pivot. I think Kane's going to start. I think DCL is going to start on the bench. You could see Rashford come in. You could see Calvert-Lewin come in. But I think this is the most likely lineup. I think these are probably set in stone. You can have Mount in one of these positions. And maybe Grealish in the 10. Saka's apparently a doubt. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he brought him out. He had a good game without being exceptional last game. And when Grealish came on, it kind of just changed the dynamic. So I could see him coming back out. I want to see Sancho get minutes. I want to see Sancho, and especially against the team that's going to be, let's be honest, sat in a 5-3-2 low block for most of the game. You want players who can beat a man, players who can pick a pass. And to be honest, either Foden or Sancho can do that job. But I'd almost argue that it might be even better to have these two on the pitch over Sterling. While Sterling is brilliant at getting in goal-scoring positions, I don't think he's at his best when he's playing against a low block. Although I guess he gets a lot of practice with that with City, but he wasn't in the City squad a lot. Shevchenko off the bench. Get him on. Give him the 7 shirt. Henderson, Bellingham. Yeah, I'd probably say that. Because then you get like 60 minutes, 70 minutes out of Henderson. You get some time into his legs. You've then got him available in a semi-final, and like you can get him some match fitness for the final. He's, you know, whatever your opinion of him as a player is, he's a player that's won a lot. He's a player that does win a lot. He's the captain of Liverpool. He's won the Premier League and the Champions League and the 2 of the last 3 seasons. Like, he knows how to win a game. And he's a good player, you know? Foden at Cam? Yeah, maybe. You could see Mount or Bellingham in there, and Grealish or Foden, and you can see Grealish out on the left and Foden through the middle. This is what I mean. Like, England have got so many options to change a game. Like, so, you know, whoever doesn't play is going to be available off the bench to come on and change a game. So, like, England need to show the other side now. So they, defensively, were brilliant against Germany. Played the game plan to a T. We negated Germany. Obviously, there are a couple of chances. Good teams are going to make a couple of chances. I dare say that Ukraine are going to make a couple of chances. But I think we got the game plan down to a T. They played really well. Obviously, got the 2 goals. I thought it was a really good match, but a really good performance from most people in an England shirt that game. The defenders were exceptional. I thought Pickford had a great game, but everyone else like played a 6-7 out of 10. Like, Sterling and Kane got the goals, even though they weren't the most effective. Grealish came off the bench, like got in people's faces, committed defenders. Yeah, it was a great performance. And if we can do the other side of it and be creative in attack whilst being solid and show that we can do the other thing, you know, you're looking at a more and more complete England lineup. If somebody created players and you put Rice and Phillips in there when you were playing 3 centre back, well, that was against Germany. And against Germany, the way that they play, because obviously they stack their midfield with essentially they're playing like false nines. They have players who drift in and out of those spaces, and we saw the players that frustrated Germany. Sorry, the teams that frustrated Germany in the group stage were playing with that back 3. They were denying them space. They weren't letting their wing backs, you know, get space to affect the game and control the game. And you kind of had to do it. I get why he did it. You're playing a 3 and a 2. And, you know, Phillips is good in transition. He does it a lot for Leeds. He's great at that transitional break, that direct ball into feet. And yeah, it wasn't working that well in the first half. I thought Kane had a shocker. Second half, where he felt a little bit less compelled to drop deep and create. So, like when Grealish came on, it just opened up for him. And obviously he got his goal. But I think he needs to kick on now. It's going to be an interesting game, though. I'm certain that they're going to sit deep and defend in like maybe even a 5-4-1 block. And it's going to be really hard to break down. And we're going to need those players to make the difference. Which is why I'd love to see Sancho. He's great at that. He's great at finding space and running at people. He's good at committing people and beating them and like getting half a yard on them and either cutting a crossback or getting a shot away or, you know, playing a through ball. He's great at that. And he can go either way. He can cut inside. He can go on the outside. Same with Grealish. Like he's kind of like a pacier Grealish for me. Like he's great at getting the ball into feet and running and beating people, whereas Grealish kind of faces players up a little bit more. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. 8 o'clock kickoff. I'm going to be home from work. It's going to be great. I don't think Foden gets anywhere near a start, really. I don't know, man. We've got so many options though that, you know, maybe Foden doesn't start. Maybe Foden doesn't start for the rest of the tournament, but that he will in the future. He will start tournaments in the future. Like, we've got so many really good, talented young players that the future just looks bright, you know? And Foden is starting from... It's not like he's a young player who's not going to get game time when he's back at his club, because he is starting games for Man City. He took Sterling's spot off him, you know? For the run-in for the season. Five players who do nothing with the ball. I think that's harsh on Phillips. But, like, yeah, I mean, they did very little. But Maguire's good at stepping out with the ball. Like, those balls into midfield. Like, Stones and Maguire are both good at that, so. But, you know, like, there's no point in criticising the tactics when he beat Germany 2-0. You know, like, why are we going back and criticising the tactics for it? I get the frustration, like, beforehand, but I wouldn't have changed much. And, you know, if I was making that team, and it worked to a T, like I say. When we started talking about it, they had a game plan, they stuck to the game plan, and the game plan worked. They beat Germany. Guardiola plays him on the wing. I think he plays centre mid. He's just a very talented footballer. Like, he played from the centre a fair bit over the last couple of years. So, according to who scored, he's played everywhere. So, last year, played on the left wing, played in centre mid for 6 games, got himself a couple of goals, played on the right wing, played as an attacking mid. You know, like, he's played all around in the final third. That's just this year. I seem to remember last year he was playing a lot more from centre mid. Like, he'd be the guy that had come in when David Silva was being rested, or like he'd come off the bench for David Silva now and again. You know, if a team plays well, there should be room for criticism. So, oh yeah, you can always improve. You can always take a step on. And like, I think it's, you know, I agree with you. Like, you don't need to play a double pivot in this game, like a workman like midfield too. But like I say, I think it is a bit harsh on Phillips. Phillips is a great transitional midfielder. Not only he's a good tracker, he's a good presser of the presser of play. He knows like how to press passing lanes and a man. But he's also really tidy in possession. He's great at a transitional ball. So I can totally see why you'd want him as that transitional midfielder in that defensive mid. Because you put Mount or Bellingham in there, and yeah, they'll work hard. But I think Rice did a better job. Rice did a great job in against the Czechs. Like, he stopped Modric playing. And I think he did a great job against the Germans. Like, he shut down that midfield. He stopped them having the time on the ball to control the game. Like, it was a shaky first 20 minutes from England. And once they stepped in and kind of put themselves on the game, put their style on the game, it started to swing. And it was just a constant swing, like, to England in terms of, you know, in terms of chances, in terms of how well, like, how the flow of the game was going. And you can look at XG, and it was a similar XG, and shots and possession and stuff was similar. But it felt like when you were watching the game, the majority of the game, it felt like England were comfortable. And obviously, once we went 1-up, like, it just felt more comfortable. I don't think it's because he's bad. Just doesn't fit the game once. Yeah, maybe. Southgate does more. Southgate defends more. Saka had a good game. Saka's been really good. Saka's been really, really impressive in the games that he's played for England. Not as much the last game, but the game previous, he was very good. But it's like I'm saying, like, we've got so many options that you're almost damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because, like, if you play Grealish over Sterling, and then we lose. And so, well, why did you play Sterling? He scored in every game. Or he's, like, scored in 4 or 5 games. So, okay, well, if Grealish doesn't play, and then, like, we don't. Like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think at the end of the day, like, it's important to be able to be flexible and have, not only tactically, but kind of outlook-wise. You need to be flexible in terms of your expectations of how you're going to control the game. And I think we obviously played it perfectly against Germany. Didn't concede a goal, beat Germany in a knockout tournament for the first time since 1966. Like, we're through to a quarterfinal where we are heavy favourites to go through to a semi, which is going to be a tough game if we can get there. And the final is going to be very tough as well, which is assuming it's Italy. But either Italy or Spain are going to be the favourites for it. Well, either Italy or Spain, whoever we face, it's going to be tough. It'd be great to see Saka at a big club. Phillips is the best player in the tournament at making teams make mistakes. Yeah, like his game intelligence is really high. Like, he knows when to press. He knows when to like press space or press a player. He knows like when to hand it off and when to push high up the pitch and when to drop deep. He's a really smart player. He's a very good player, and it pains me to say it as a Leeds player, as a Man United fan. But I think he's just a very good player. He's a very good midfielder, and I think having him in the team, whether it be next to a more creative player or whether it be next to Declan Rice, they're just a good double pivot. And I think having that good midfield partnership in that double pivot, you know, whether it's in front of a back three or in front of a back two, like depending on your opponent, it's good. And Declan Rice isn't bad on the ball. He's just, you know, he's quite press resistant. He's quite good at keeping the ball. He's got his head on a swivel, and his knowledge of where the players are around him in that back third, in that defensive third, is really good. I really like Declan Rice. I'd love him at United. I think he's the kind of DM we're screaming out for. RNA, how you doing, man? I'm credit Bielsa for that. Oh yeah, like the way that Phillips plays is 100% Bielsa. Like that man-to-man marking, knowing when to press, when to move, when to go, where to go. Like, he's just very good at it. But yeah, it's nice to see him do it in an England shirt as well. But yeah, I think those two as a double pivot are really good. Well, like I say, whether it be in front of a back three or back two, that depends on the kind of opposition you're coming up against. And I think we've got so many options in that final third. Like, we're not even bringing Saka and Rashford. Oh god, I've broken it. We're not even bringing Saka and Rashford into the mix on this. Like, you know, you've got Rashford who can play a similar kind of game to Sterling. He's a little bit more direct. Sterling's a little bit better off the ball. Saka, Sancho, like, you know, these are all like almost interchangeable players. Like, we've got so many options in this final third for creators around Kane. Not only that, we've got Calvert-Lewin, who's like a physical presence. I'm really excited about the future of the England team with this. The next couple of tournaments. Most of these guys are really young. Sterling's what, 25? Rashford's 24, 23? Grealish is 25. Foden's 21. You got Mount, who's in his early 20s. Kane's 28, 29, so he's got a couple of tournaments still in him still. Calvert-Lewin's in his early 20s. Bellingham's young as fuck. Like, just attacking-wise, we're great. The thing we need to do is make sure that we've got good defenders coming through behind them. And obviously, Rice and Phillips are young as well. Like, Bellingham will be incredible. He's been very impressive. I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of German football, so he's not someone that I'm really that aware of. And I'm always dubious about how good players are in the Bundesliga anyway. Because players are always great in the Bundesliga, and then they leave and then they don't do nothing. You know? Look at Mkhitaryan. Look like Messi in the Bundesliga. Came to United and lost his place to Jesse Lingard. Young defenders coming through. White, Godfrey. Yeah. I really rate Godfrey. I like Ben White. We've obviously got loads of right backs. Got tons of right backs. I think it's like the future is bright for England, and I think getting the win over Germany kind of got the monkey off our back a little bit. It kind of that's always the thing's been hanging over the head is like we don't beat big teams in knockout tournaments. We've just beaten a big team in a knockout tournament. We've just beaten a big team that, you know, it was one of the like after the group performances, they battered Portugal, the team that won the Euros the last time. That's got like one of the best squads around. They battered them, and then we beat them 2-0. Bellingham's looked good for England. He's looked decent. He's not had enough minutes for me to like go, wow, this guy's the next big thing. But we'll see. I think Reece could convert to a DC as he gets older too. Reece James could be the guy that takes that Walker spot, like when you move to a back five. So you can play as an inside centre back. You know, and then that frees up for Trent. You know, you have Trent on this right hand side, creating from deep and wide. Like, we're forgetting Trent. Trent isn't even in the squad because he's injured. You've got Mason Greenwood. Like, you've got loads of really good young players. You've got what's his name at Arsenal? Another double-barreled surname boy. Forget his name now. Smith Rowe. Emil Smith Rowe. Like, he looks really impressive. He came on leaps and bounds last year. You know, Maddison at Leicester. I really rate Maddison. He wasn't even in the 30-man squad. Like, you've got all these players who can come in. Even did I play Henderson at centre back? Nah, he wasn't good for Liverpool at centre back, and there's better defenders than him. You don't play players out of position, you know. And Henderson, like, it's not like he's going to be the guy to replace Stones and Maguire. He's older than both of them, you know. English only, please. Sorry, I don't speak Greek. I assume that's Greek. I think Madison's issue is probably mentality. I think he had a lot of injuries this year, didn't he? Up across Ukraine. Oh, okay. Up the Ukraine. No, hopefully we smash the... Why else is no one in for him? I don't know. Because there's just... Every team already seems to have those players. Every bigger teams already seems to have those players. I could see him moving. Like, there was big talks about United being in for him last year before he signed Bruno, but he plays in that Bruno spot. I just really like him at Man United. I think he'd be a great signing. Plays off the left, plays through the middle, can play as a 10, can play as an 8. Like, I think he's a really versatile player. I'd like him to come in if Pogba leaves and you play him as that deeper 8, but he has had injury issues. Would with the back 5, with the back 4 you wouldn't. Yeah, I get that, but again, still, I think the fact that you can have James or Walker in there, like, I'd rather go with those. I think they're better defenders. It was Ukrainian. It looked Greek to me. Sorry. No, it's okay. But yeah, I really rate Maddison. There's just a lot of very good young English players, and I don't think that was me being blinkered as an England fan. I'm usually quite pragmatic to England's chances when it comes to tournaments, but just the amount of quality players that we've got winners, we've got game changers. I think us and Italy are going to make it to the final. I think Italy beat Spain. Hopefully we can get past Ukraine and Denmark. Spinazzola's tore his ACL. Oh, no. Google Translate about the same. Man, I'm gutted for him. He's been exceptional. Damn. Yeah, that's gutting, man. Best left back of the tournament. He's not even a left back. He's been playing as a bloody right-sided inside forward. Probably best left back in the world. No, I think you got to be really careful with, like, changing. I think Raz said this the other day. Like, you got to be careful of how your opinions of players change based off one tournament. We've seen it so often. But he's been very impressive. Yeah, I don't know about that. He's been the most impressive left back in the tournament, I think, or at least up there in the discussion. You know, Goossens was outstanding. Gustafsson was outstanding. Luke Shaw, like, had a heavy part to play in both of those England goals against Germany. I thought it was the top 10 left back for the tournament. I mean, to be fair, I don't watch a lot of the time. I don't watch a lot of football outside of England, I'll be honest. I watch, like, the European competitions. I don't watch a lot of league stuff. To see after his injury. Yeah, he's not young either, is he? Like 28. Hopefully it's not a complete rupture. Like, it's just a bit of a tear, maybe. We'll see. But yeah. Chat, what do we think? What do we think the score is tomorrow? The scores, even. Who do we think wins in the Czech-Denmark game? I think Denmark win 3-1. I could see the Czechs getting a goal, but I think Denmark are going to have too much. I think 3-1, Denmark win. And I think England... I don't know. Does Gareth take the handbrake off a bit? Yeah, Denmark have been really... Like I was saying earlier, like, Denmark, even though they lost to Belgium, I thought, like, they were unlucky to lose to Belgium. They had a really good game. 3-1 England, 2-1 Denmark. Yeah. I don't know. I don't see England conceding. I just don't... They're just one of those teams at the minute where I don't see them letting a goal in. Because they don't allow a lot of chances. And chances that have come up, Pickford's been... Like, I'm usually the first one to jump on Pickford's back. He's been brilliant. 2-0 Ukraine. I mean, it would... Honestly, it's unlikely, but I wouldn't be surprised. If England just don't turn up at all. It's happened before. Remember Iceland, guys. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful of an England win. Yeah, I can't see it happening, but you never know. You never know with England, do you? But these guys, these England players, this generation of England players don't have the PTSD being carried over from all these previous tournaments. Like, there's so few players that have been in those situations. Like, who is there? There's Sterling and Kane, maybe? Sterling and Kane. Yeah, I think that's it. Who've been in, maybe Henderson, who've been in those tournaments where it's all gone wrong from them. The mentality's been terrible. There's none of those kind of like hangover players anymore. There's no Wayne Rooney in it, basically. But yeah. I think England win. I think Denmark win. And I think... I think England beat Denmark. I think we go to the final. I think England play Italy in the final. I think Italy beat Spain. Oh, it's exciting! Right, chat. I'm going to end it there for tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. It's been fantastic. Really good fun. I wasn't sure whether doing a watch-along would be the kind of thing I wanted to do. Turns out, it was really good fun. So expect more of these. We'll be doing... There won't be any, like when the Premier League season comes around. There won't be... I want to carry on doing Fridays and Sundays. Fridays and Sundays, it's going to be football discussion, tactical discussion, and all that good stuff. There's obviously the occasional Friday night game, so maybe we'll do some watch-alongs with that. But that's mainly going to be building up for the weekend, looking at the games that are coming up. We're going to be looking at tactics, looking at teams, looking at predicted lineups, all that kind of stuff. Then Sundays, I'm going to try and do some Super Sunday watch-alongs. How's that sound? How the hell does that sound? Sounds good to me. Well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to send you off somewhere. Who's live? Let's find someone for you. Let's go show some love to... We're going to head over to a fellow... Oh, shit. A fellow sports streamer who is... Who's live? Who can we send you to? Oh, I think we're going to send you over to Lowercase Tuna. He's going to be on Moz's Euro breakfast at some point next week. I think I'm right in saying. And we're probably going to get him involved at some point in the channel over here as well. He's doing reactions to the Belgium Italy game. He's going to be talking about that and probably talking about the games that are coming up. So let's send you over there. Show him some love. Drop the emotes if you got them. But failing that, I won't see you tomorrow because I'm going to be drinking beer and watching the England game. It's going to be good. But I will see you Sunday. Sunday morning, don't forget, over on Moz's channel, I'm going to be part of the Euro breakfast. And then Sunday evening, we're going to be having a wrap-up, a roundup of what's happened. Hopefully, talking about a wonderful England victory. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Go show Tuna some love. See you Sunday. Enjoy your Saturday. Bye now. Oh, by the way, thanks so much to everyone who dropped in. If you're new to the channel, hit that follow button. Thank you for all the subs. Yeah, I'm going now. Bye.